Coming up, Red Alert 3 has taken real-time strategy to new heights with its cooperative campaign and multiplayer. Now I'll take you through some strats to streamline victory for you and your co-commander. Plus, the very first edition of Red Alert 3 Honors. So buddy up and join the fight, comrades. This is Command School. You're watching Command School. I'm Greg Kasavin. This is the first episode of our ongoing coverage of CNC Red Alert 3, the latest and greatest from the CNC Brain Trust. Cooperative multiplayer is nothing new to RTS, but Red Alert 3's groundbreaking co-op campaign mode ups the ante. Each of the three factions is carefully balanced to one another, not just as enemies, but as allies. So for those of you looking for a leg up in co-op, here are some explosive strats straight from the dev team. First, let's look at how co-op can help you defensively. On the one hand, it's obvious. You have twice as many credits to build defenses, so you and your co-commander could focus on barricading a single area or base much more effectively than as isolated armies. But don't expect to defend both bases, you don't have that many credits. If you want a real leg up in the defense department, team up with a Soviet army. Once the Reds build their super reactor, they've got the power to run a whole grid of turrets and base defenses. Defending a vulnerable Allied base with a sea of flak turrets can be key to early survival of both parties. And Allied commanders should keep a multi-gunner turret built and ready to deploy wherever needed. Early in the game, you can use a mix and match approach to discover some interesting new rush strategies. My personal favorite, the cross-faction customization of the Allies' multi-gunner IFV. When playing as the Allies with an Empire co-commander, have them rush a dojo core to your base, then rush to an armor facility. Now you can build Tier 1 IFVs, but instead of filling them with Allied infantry, you can use the Imperial tank busters and shinobis instead. Tank buster IFVs are extremely powerful, a faster and more versatile version of the Empire's structure killer. To back them up in the rush, the Shinobi IFV shoots a deadly ninja star from its deck-welded cannon and can kill most infantry in one shot. This makes for a serious combo in the early game. When playing as either the Allies or the Empire, you have limited options for traversing the map quickly. To eliminate that disadvantage, team up with a Soviet player to unlock the power of the Twin Blade. This fast-moving copter can carry infantry and vehicles, letting you get that wave force artillery across the map in a third of the time. Also remember to use the Allied cryocopter's shrink ray on slow-moving Soviet Sputniks and APOC tanks to get them across the map with blinding speed. You can also combine support powers to get the most out of your collaboration. Tired of watching an army evade your magnetic satellite? Try using the Allied chrono fissure to hold a group of units in place. Then, just before that power wears off, drop the magnetic satellite on top of that same army. As soon as the rift deactivates, they'll become tangible and it'll be too late for them to run. These are just a few of our favorite online co-op strategies, but that barely scratches the surface of what's possible in Red Alert 3. If you've got a killer multiplayer strat that you want to share, save your replays and send them over to commandschool@ea.com for a chance to be featured here on Command School. Now, for two of our favorite submitted strats from the last few months, here's the first ever Red Alert 3 Command School Honors. We have two clever chrono strats for the Allies in this month's Honors. Our first Honors strategy was submitted by D. Dennis and features a clever usage of the Allies' chrono swap support power. This strat can be pulled off early in the game, and the only key units needed are a scout, an engineer, a couple of riptides, and a distraction force of infantry. Also, obviously, make sure you have the chrono swap. Now send that scout to a hidden location, and send your riptides filled with infantry and engineers to the back of your enemy's base. Before they get spotted, send a distraction force to the front. If they do their job, the transports will walk right in the back, and your engineer can take the enemy conyard. Make sure to pack it up into an MCV, then quickly chrono swap the scout and the stolen MCV, and you'll now have a mobile base anywhere on the map, and your enemy won't have any way to recover. Our second strat comes from Rucario, and features a different use of the Allied chrono powers. The time bomb can be extremely useful, but at each higher level the enemy has more and more time to escape the blast radius. But with the chronosphere, you can teleport the bomb into an enemy base right before it explodes. This way they'll never see the destruction coming. You can take out an enemy armada, a tank mass, or even a super reactor, but don't wait too long to make the teleport, because you don't want that time bomb going off in your base. Well, that's all the time we have here on Command School, so be sure to battlecast your matches and send your best strats to commandschool@ea.com. And remember, defeats can be just as educational as victories, so don't be afraid to get owned once in a while, just, not too often. Dev tested, player approved. For Command & Conquer TV, I'm Greg Kasavin.